I am going to draw Metatron's cube in AutoCAD. Oh shit.
Oh, wait.
And Metatron's cube is going to be like my graphing paper that I'm going to use to map out all of my little symbols and create some images of some sort.
Heard that. This one, I'm sure I've shown you this before. I'm sure you're aware of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, hang on. Hold that right there. Screenshot you bitch ass. I really like taking other people's stuff and then like rendering it in my style.
I heard that. Oh yeah, dude. Like I like that. I don't know about the white eclipse.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me that when you turn it into a negative image, it would fill in the eclipse. So I have to keep that in mind for the future.
Oh, I got you. I see. Like you turned it negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I don't know. There is an interesting thing there in terms of white holes. The theoretical white hole.
It's so perfect, like poetically speaking. Perspectival consciousness, as I've already said, that's really what Einstein is doing. That's what he is elaborating. And perspectival consciousness is solar consciousness. The solar ego is implicated here. The individual egoity or subjectivity becomes a key player within Einstein's physics because of the way that different perspectival reference frames come to be absolutely central to the way that his theory operates. And lo and behold, you get this black hole thing coming out of his equations, right? Where you have a star, or at least this is the story that we're told, right? A supermassive star. You can think of it as like an ego that's, super inflated, collapses into itself underneath its own density, its own weight, its own pressure, so as to become a singularity, which is then surrounded by an event horizon, which is impenetrable. Light cannot get out. Consciousness cannot get out of the boundaries of the event horizon in the same way that Kantian perspectival consciousness can no longer get out of the bounds which separate the phenomenal and the noumenal. It's the exact same thing. But what's interesting here is that with the singularity, we can begin to see how to kind of move through perspectival consciousness. Not by banging our heads against the walls of the event horizon, as it were. The walls which separate the phenomenological realm from the noumenal realm, but rather by going inward, sinking into that singularity at the core of the black hole, at the core of perspectival consciousness. We kind of come out on the other side, as it were, into counter space. So counter space is an idea that was originally developed by Rudolf Steiner. It was later picked up by Nikola Tesla with his kind of etheric electromagnetic theory, which is a story for another day. But either way, you've got this idea here within black holes as well, it would seem, just in a kind of roundabout sort of way, that the collapse into the singularity then results in a kind of expansion on the other side, right? With this idea of like a white hole or something like that, or that, once you go through the singularity of the black hole, it pops out into an alternate universe or something like that, which is, very science fiction-y, of course, but the reality is that all of this is very science fiction-y because relativity is science fiction. But in any case, this is really interesting here archetypally, because if we look at the different stages of this process, what we see, we see the different stages of the alchemical great work, just with the order shifted a little bit. you start with the golden sun, which then becomes the red giant, right? And then that becomes the black hole, and then on the other side you get the white hole, right? So you get this yellow, red, black, white. The order's different within the alchemical great work, but it's the same thing. It's the same archetypal idea is expressing itself through a different kind of medium, through the imagination of physics, which is just great because of the irony. Of course, physicists think that what they're doing is as far removed from mysticism and alchemy as you can imagine, but the reality is they're just doing the exact same thing in a slightly different way with a slightly different language.
But perhaps that's saved for another ion. I don't know. Part of me wonders about this whole thing that I'm talking about, the galactic center and the body language and stuff. I think that I'm increasingly convinced that like I'm correct in my analysis of the technical evolution of language or something. However, the whole galactic center thing, I wonder if maybe humanity is destined to grapple with that in the Sagittarian ion or something. I'm not sure.
Feel you. Oh yeah, you know what? That would make sense, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Since it's the galactic center is seated in Sagittarius.
Perhaps. I don't know. I think they're
Wait,
both,
how far off
I
is
think they're both-
Sagittarius?
I think they're both like correct readings of the cosmogram. That's kind of how I square it at the moment. But, yes, and I don't see why we can't look at it that way these days, to consider that the galaxy is ontologically more primary than us or something like that. Like the divine darkness from which all proceeds, or something of the sort. I don't know. I probably won't keep this part in, bro. But I mean, I'm frustrated with my situation with Griffin. I don't know. I think maybe there are things where people are supposed to tell him, if we're really mythologizing this situation, right? And saying that like Galahad has been particularly chosen to deliver some sort of dispatch to humanity. Hopefully under Christ, then I would imagine perhaps there would be people who are kind of destined to inform him about particular things. Or maybe, that there would be other people offering, other people appearing similarly, like other people who have prophetic insights, let's say about physical health or something, right? And so part of me has been wondering if maybe that's maybe I'm being called in that respect. Not to say I'm pre-chosen or something, but part of me feels a call to be the guy who helps Galahad learn about fellowship, communion, friendship, intimacy, eye contact, vulnerability, bodies of people, and face to face, and not fucking text.
Yeah.
If I kind of map this to the cosmogram, right? Like it doesn't fit exactly, but like this plus that other one that I made with the wings is the cosmogram, in my opinion. And I defer to Galahad's ultimately, but this would be where he has the four
suits of the tarot.
beasts.
It's a cross, the cycles of the year, a zodiac wheel, and the 4 suits of the tarot.
This would be kind of the equivalent, like in terms of where's the reference to the patterns in time. That would be how I depicted them, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
This was before I was aware of Christ's impressive feats, and 2016, 2017.
You know, I'd really like to see you like flesh that image out. I feel like there's just like one cosmogram, like it's an underlying thing that I don't think anyone can really fully capture. Galahad's is probably like the best stab that humanity has so far at what that's supposed to look like. But then you
Yeah.
also have Pajot's, which is on par, to say the least. um, and because I found this when I was trying to like put my own little like lexicon together, and you're kind of forced to map it out in the same way that they did. Like anything that has to do with Christ or a cross has to go in the center or at the top. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then the right hand goes up and the left hand goes down. Now, whether or not you want to show that through like a window kind of way or a mirror sort of way, like where Pajot does a window, Galahad does a mirror. That's at your own discretion, but one side goes up, the other goes down. And yada, yada, yada. Like there's just like one pattern. And that's why I was saying I like taking other people's stuff and then rendering it in my own style, because we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to capture that same image, which is basically just the human face. But we each have our own, like, you know, thing.
True. I agree with that. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Your mention of the face just like completely fried my brain. I was like, I have no idea what is going on now. But the only thing I think that I agree 100%, Galahad got closest and so far, and I think honestly my only kind of thing that I wonder about, and again it's ultimately with tons of respect for the guy, and you know, lots of I still what's the word, I still have a lot of confidence in him, but it's the astrological glyphs in the Ouroboros. I don't think that those should have been removed, and that's my respectful.
He didn't remove the Ouroboros though, did he?
No, the astrological glyphs.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. I understand now.
I don't know about like all the names of the beings and stuff, but I think this is my humble contention, you know, with lots of respect for the guy. You know, I think it's probably understandable that he removed them or something. He told me it was because he felt like he added them, whereas the angel painted the rest. But in so saying that, he was talking about the text, right? And he took out the text, but I think the glyphs should remain. And just like in the where you have the cups, he took out arrows, right? But he left the cup, and I think it's kind of analogous. I haven't really talked to him about this, but it's like I don't know. I think that would be kind of, that's where my head goes in terms of like improving the cosmogram, if such a thing could be discussed.
I mean, that's why I encourage you to flesh out your junk, and if anything, you could just like, you know, don't be afraid of being unoriginal. You can just take the Raxian cosmogram and just kind of play around with it and paste some stuff on top of it, move some stuff around as you see fit. It's all about having fun.
Yeah.
But I think
perhaps I'll do that. You know, like I did that a bit with the you know, the one where I used the hangman and the spider.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I feel like it might look something like that, you know, if I were to flesh it out more. But also closer to Griffin's as well. I don't know, I'm not trying to like you know, like step on this man's toes at all, really. Yeah, I'm trying to add to the unfolding which is occurring at a collective level. Yeah.
Bro, Metatron's cube is such a pain in the ass, dude. Like, ugh. I don't think I'm even halfway done. I've been doing it like this whole conversation.
The Holy 108. Have you ever heard about this? Oh shit. Oh shit, dude. Bro, people have some whack images. Look at this. I was trying to figure out how many lines. I don't know what's up here, but it's very interesting.
Hmm.